Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make Mexican ground beef and rice skillet. This dish happens all in one skillet. We're going to give it some Mexican flavors and it's going to be fast to put together. It's a really great weeknight meal, or you can put this together really easily on the weekend. Now since we're cooking all in one skillet, you want to make sure you have a deep enough skillet. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. People are always asking me in the comments, what's in my blue bottle that I use? It's an avocado oil, and generally I have a big bottle like this, and I use that to fill up my container here. It's just so easy just to take it and pour it in. We go through it pretty quickly. I generally get the big bottles from Costco, or you can get smaller bottles like at Walmart. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon to our skillet. To that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to turn this on to medium-high heat. I'm going to be dicing up a green pepper and an onion. Now we're going to start with the green pepper because that takes a little bit longer to cook and soften down. So I'm just going to cut off the 4 sides. Just going to slice these, and then I'm going to dice these. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the onion. I'm just going to peel the onion and then cut it, dice it into small pieces. Now this is a 1 skillet meal. I love these types of meals because they're fast to put together. I did a poll on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and I asked y'all, what was your favorite recipes on my channel? So the winner was 1 skillet, and then next was casseroles, crock pot, desserts, and then soup. I'm going to go ahead now and start adding my bell pepper to the butter. It's starting to sizzle now. All right. I'm dicing these pretty small because I want them to cook fast, because we want this to be a fast dish. I like to make thin lines about 3/4 of the way through the half of the onion, and then just take my knife and drag it through it. I like to season as I go, so I'm just going to put in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of some salt, just to start the flavor levels, and the same in the black pepper. We're ready to add in 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm going to stir this around and cook this for 1 minute. That'll help release the garlic aroma into the peppers and onions. What we're going to do now is add in our ground beef. I've got about 1.5 pounds. I try to buy my ground beef in bulk, and then I divide it into Ziploc bags, flatten them out and freeze them, and then I can pull them out the night before if I know I'm going to make a dish. So what we're going to do is chop up the ground beef into the peppers and onions, and then we're going to brown it until it's no longer pink. Just going to use my meat chopper here. I find it a lot easier to break up the ground beef. I've had this tool for almost 4 years now, and it's very sturdy, very solid. Now this tool came from Amazon. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down below in the description box, or you can just ask me for the link to it, and I'll send that to you in the comments. Okay, the meat is almost browned up. Let's talk about our taco seasoning. You're going to want 1 packet, which is generally around 3 tablespoons of your favorite store-bought taco seasoning, or you can make your own, which I have right here. I have my own blend, and I love this blend here. It smells so good. What's great is there's no additives or no preservatives or anything extra thing like that. So I'm going to show you this right here. I will link my recipe and the video to that recipe if you want to see the video of it down below in the description box down below. Or if you can't find it, you can go to my recipe blog, catherinesplates.com, and you can find it there, or you can just go onto my channel and just type in taco seasoning and find it there. Now there's not a lot of grease in here, but there's some, and I want to get that out. So without having to use extra dishes or strainers and that, I'm just going to move my meat off to the side, put some paper towels in, and let that absorb any excess grease that you don't want in your meat right now. There we go. That's perfect right there. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of beef broth, or you can use water. I'm just going to stir this all together. Get that ground beef nice and flavored, and the peppers and the onions. It smells delicious. What we're going to do now is add 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Now I'm going to add the juice also. This is about 14 ounces of whole kernel corn. Now it's in the can. I drained it. If you want to use frozen corn, you can do that also, just about 14 ounces. I have 1 cup of uncooked long grain white rice. Now I use a basmati, or you can just use a regular rice. I'm going to pour in 2½ cups of beef broth. I'm going to place my burner on a high heat. I'm going to stir this all together while we're bringing this to a boil. Okay, you can see that we have a boil. We're going to lower the heat down to a medium-low. We're going to place the lid on our skillet or your pot. We're going to cook this for 20 to 25 minutes until that rice is cooked through and nice and tender. Keep an eye on it during that time and just make sure it's not sticking on the bottom. And then keep an eye on your liquid level also. If you need to add a little bit more broth, if you feel like it, then you can add it at that time. Now just remember, the more times you pull your lid off, the longer it's going to take to cook, because it's got to build up more heat to cook that rice. I'll be back. We've got another layer to add. So what I'm going to do is take the lid off, turn the burner off, and then we're going to add 2 cups of shredded cheese on top. I'm just going to fluff it up a little bit. You can go about 1 cup to 2 cups of cheese. We'll place the lid on. I'm going to let it sit and absorb all the flavors and have that cheese nice and melted. I'm going to give it just a little pop of color, some fresh parsley, or if you want cilantro. All right, I'm ready to put this on a plate and give it a try. There we go. Now there's 2 ways you can eat this. You can dive in with a fork, or you can use a tortilla chip, which is what I'm going to do. These are corn tortilla chips. This is so delicious with that. You can top this with sour cream, diced tomatoes, cilantro, olives, anything you like to top like a taco with. Let's go in. Right there. Oh my gosh. This is going to be lunch, dinner, and tomorrow. That's very delicious. Y'all comment down below what you think of my Mexican ground beef and rice 1 skillet meal. You saw how fast that was to put together and how easy it was. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification. That way you'll always know when my shows are posted. I'm going to see y'all on the next episode.